Have you ever wondered how your favourite NBA team got its name? Let's take a look at the fascinating origins behind some of the league's most iconic names. For teams like the Los Angeles Lakers and the Utah Jazz, the name doesn't seem to match the city. The Lakers name has been a part of Los Angeles for over 60 years, but the team originally started in Minneapolis, Minnesota, known as the land of 10,000 lakes. When the team moved to LA in 1960, they kept the original name. Similarly, the Utah Jazz's name may not make sense today, but it has its roots in New Orleans, the jazz capital of the world. The team relocated to Salt Lake City in 1979 and decided to keep the name. Sometimes team names are a reflection of the owner's vision. Chicago's original owner, Richard Klein, named the Bulls after the relentless fighting bull, symbolizing tenacity and strength. Klein hoped these qualities would define the team, and with 6 championships in 8 years, they certainly lived up to the name. The Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks have been playing in the same city since 1946. The Celtics were named by Walter Brown, inspired by the great tradition of the original Celtics, a dominant early 20th century basketball team in New York. The Knicks founder Ned Irish chose knickerbockers, referring to Dutch settlers' style of pants that became synonymous with early New York culture. Detroit Pistons are another example of a name rooted in history. Originally the Fort Wayne Zollner Pistons in Indiana, they were named after owner Fred Zollner's piston manufacturing business. The name fit perfectly when the team moved to Detroit, the Motor City, in 1957. Sometimes the fans get to choose. When the NBA expanded in 1987, Miami, Charlotte, Minnesota and Orlando turned to the fans for help. The Miami Heat beat out names like the Tornadoes and the Sharks. Charlotte picked the Hornets, reflecting the city's rebellious spirit from the Revolutionary War. Orlando selected the Magic, inspired by its tourism slogan, "Come to the Magic." Minnesota went with the Timberwolves over the Polars because of the state's unique Timberwolf population. Contests were used for other teams too. Dallas chose the Mavericks for its cowboy connection. Phoenix became the Suns because of Arizona's climate, and Seattle's fans suggested the Supersonics, honouring the Boeing plant's plans to build supersonic planes in 1967. Cleveland's name, the Cavaliers, were chosen from a local newspaper contest, symbolising bravery and tenacity. Portland's Trailblazers won from over 10,000 entries, reflecting the city's pioneer history. The Milwaukee Bucks beat out names like Skunks and Ponies because it represented Wisconsin's wildlife. The Rockets were originally named for San Diego's City in Motion slogan. When the team moved to Houston, the name fit perfectly with NASA's space program. After San Diego lost the Rockets, a contest helped rename the new team the Clippers, referencing the great sailing ships that passed through the city. Toronto, the first NBA expansion team outside the US, embraced the Raptors name during the height of the Jurassic Park craze in 1995. The Atlanta Hawks have played in 3 cities: Moline, Illinois, Milwaukee, and St. Louis. They were originally named the Tri-Cities Blackhawks after Sioux Chief Black Hawk, before simplifying it to the Hawks. The Denver Nuggets name recalls the area's 19th century gold rush, replacing the original name, the Denver Rockets, when they joined the NBA in 1974. The Golden State Warriors began in Philadelphia and were named after a 1920s team. After moving to San Francisco and then Oakland, they kept the Warriors but rebranded to reflect California's broader identity. The New York Nets initially played in New Jersey as the Americans, but when they moved to New York, they rebranded as the Nets, a nod to an essential part of the game. When they returned to New Jersey, the name stuck. Obviously, they're now Brooklyn Nets. The Sacramento Kings started as the Rochester Royals in 1945. Then they moved to Cincinnati, then Kansas City, where they became the Kings. By the time they settled in Sacramento in 1985, they decided to keep the Regal name. The San Antonio Spurs were originally the Dallas Chaparrals, When the team relocated, a contest selected Spurs reflecting Texas cowboy culture. Washington's team has gone through multiple changes from the Chicago Packers to the Chicago Zephyrs and then the Baltimore Bullets, named after a local ammunition factory, before becoming the Washington Bullets. Concerned with the violent connotations, owner Abe Pollin renamed them the Wizards in 1997. Finally, the Indiana Pacers were named to reflect their ambition to set the pace in professional basketball. So next time you hear your favourite team's name, you'll know there's a rich history and a fascinating story behind it.